Welcome. Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Live the Mod Life. I'm Jennifer Abernethy, your host, and if you're not living the Mod Life yet, hopefully you'll be well on your way after this episode. I know you have a lot of choices of where you need to spend your time or want to spend your time, and so I really appreciate you taking 20 minutes out of your day to watch this channel. Appreciate you being here. So we're at the end of 2024 as we're filming this, and again, happy holidays, everyone. And this is a time, that most people start thinking about, where do I want to be in 2025? Where am I going? We start thinking about that roadmap. Where do we want to be? How do we want to get there? How do we want to arrive at this time next year? Who do we want to be? Who do we want to be with? Where do we want to be living? What do we want to have learned by this time next year? And what I've learned as as these years have gone on and on and on, yes, I've always had goals. I've always had business goals. As you know from watching the first episode, I am the CEO and founder of a social media agency that I've had since 2011 called Socially Delivered. And I've always been focused on my professional goals. I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant, I'm an advisor, I'm a marketing consultant / founder of this agency. And so I am consumed with my business, but the past few years I've been really focused on life goals because time is going by fast. And there's so much that I want to accomplish still, but I need to fit it in, while I can. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about life goals because I don't think enough of us women in particular do that for ourselves. Yes, we set up goals for ourselves in terms of, okay, next year I'm definitely taking this vacation, or next year, I'm going to take that painting class. But aside from that, most people don't really plan out a lot of their life goals. And yes, if you have a business or professional goals, we can include that in as well. Because I think that's important, because a lot of women at our age, at midlife and beyond, are thinking about how they are going to do their third act, their second act, their third act, or they want to finally write that book, or they want to take a year off and do a video vlog like myself, whatever it is. So we really want to get our life goals written down. And I will say I'm getting better at it, but this year I'm going all in. And one of the things that I've done in the past, and you might be able to relate to this, is, well, one, I used to just say my goals. I'd say them. Okay, and I'd say them to a friend but I didn't really write it down. And then, by the end of January, mid-January, I've kind of gotten off track and life has happened and I just forget about it. So then last year I said, no, I'm going to write it down. So I wrote down all my goals, which I think that's really important. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I made another mistake. I wrote it down, I put it in my book, and then I closed the book. And yeah, I look at it from time to time, but nope, that didn't work. What we have to do, at least most of us, and I know what I have to do, is this year I'm writing my goals out. I'm going to put them on index cards, and I'm going to read them every morning and every night. Because I have big goals. I'm, someone that when this journey ends here on this planet, I want to go bruised, I want to go bumped up, I want to have experienced so much more. And I'm not going to make it happen unless I keep it top of mind. The other thing that's going to help me do is keep it in the present. And I was reading about Damon John, he's on Shark Tank, and he said every morning he has his goals on his cards. Now, and he's very, very successful. And maybe this is why, in part. He writes his goals on index cards. And he has he probably has a daily goal too, but he has a monthly goal, yearly goal, 3-year goal, 5-year goals, and 10-year goals, and probably has more than that. So I'm going to do that as well. Where do I want to be in 1 year? Where do I want to be in 5? And where do I want to be in 10? And I might even do a 3-year because, 3 years, that's when I want to have my place over in Paris part-time. I'm putting it out there. I'm saying it. I'm going to have a place at least part-time in Paris in 3 years. Come visit. Okay, but how am I going to do that? How am I going to get there? How am I going to make that happen? So I need to be seeing that every day on my goal sheet. So that's something I want all of you to do as well. Okay, put it on index cards, and let's just Keep it top of mind. I can't tell you, I really wanted an apartment that had a lot of natural light. I kept visioning myself, I'm gonna be in a condo, I have to have a lot of natural light. This entire wall, I will show you guys one time, this entire wall is all window, almost floor to ceiling. Window, and I'm looking at the sky right now. It's absolutely incredible. And I know that's because I had that front and center. It was one non-negotiable. And so what we have to do when we're writing our goals is, they're non-negotiables, and they're going to change a little bit, as our tastes change or whatever, life happens. But I know a lot of you have goals. I do. You want to, when you live in the mod life, you also want something to look forward to. You want to be striving to something. Otherwise, every year is going to be the same. And you're going to be in the same routine and in the same rut and the same program that you've been. And listen, I've been there too. This past year, I have done more for myself than, I'm going to say almost any year past, except for the year that I wrote my books with Penguin Random House. That was a big, big year for me. And I started my business. That was another big, big year. And speaking, that was, big, all that happened at once, and that was big. But this past year, I grew so much. I cannot tell you all the things. I started a regular exercise routine. I started that actually 15, 16 months ago, but I go boxing. I do boxing. I never would have ever thought I would do boxing. And it turns out I just absolutely love it. I was there at 6 a.m. this morning. So I've got a regular workout routine. I do boxing, I do weights, I do cardio, I do a ton of walking in nature reserves, nature parks, getting that green exposure because I'm on a laptop so much. What else have I done? I went back to school this year. I went back to school. One of my passions is fashion, and I've never done anything in fashion, like professionally. I've always loved fashion. And oh, by the way, this is J. Crew on sale right now, 60% off. But I absolutely love it. And I said, I want fashion to be a component of my mod life, but also mod life. And I went back to school and I did the fashion program at Cornell University. And it was a fashion design management program, and it was online. And these professors were amazing. They were all people within the industry. I was doing this while I was running my business, while I'm living my life, and I did it, and I was so passionate about it. It made me decide that I want fashion to be a part of my life going forward, and it's going to shake out in some way, shape, or form. But that could be a goal for you. You could think about, what do I want to learn? Because I did that program this past year, 2024, thinking, I'm going to try this because I want to see how much I like fashion. And this was all about fashion design, what it takes, being a fashion buyer, how do they buy clothes, how is fabric measured? I mean, it was such an incredible program. It gave you an overview of everything from how clothes are made to how fabrics are purchased to, I could go on and on. And maybe I'll do a whole episode about that. That'll be fun. But think about yourself. What do you want to learn? What have you always wanted to learn? It's not too late. Okay, it's not too late. You can do this. I went to fashion school at 60. Okay, it's just at Cornell University. Listen, I'm not slowing down, people. I'm keeping going. And so I've got a list of some questions I want you to write down if you're interested in this, and because this is how you go places. And I don't mean physically go places, I just mean go places with your life. You have to have a roadmap. We have to have a plan. But don't do what I did. Don't just write it down and then close the book and not look at it, or only look at it 3 or 4 times a year, right? We want to look at this is what I'm going to do this year. I'm writing it on cards. I am going to look at it every morning. I don't care if I have to paste them or glue them on my bathroom mirror. I will look at these every day, and I'm going to sit here this time next year and hopefully I will rattle off all the things that I accomplished, and I did. And it's for me. I'm doing it for me, for nobody else. But so I want you to think, what do you want to do for you? What have you always wanted to learn? Why not go back to school? Why not go online? I'm going to be learning French. I cannot get it off the apps. I am registering for a French class, 101, at the community college, and I'm going to take it online. And I'm going to get graded And I'm not just auditing, I'm getting graded. I want to be tested. I want to learn the language. And so that's something I'm going to do for myself in 2025. And I also want to continue with fashion. So we'll go on about that, and I will share some of my goals. So I'm looking at my book here. So this is one thing I do. First of all, I am a nut case about notebooks and writing things down. And sheer torture for me is going into a store and just seeing paper supplies because, and I mean torture in a good way, because I want to buy it all. And I just buy. And this, God, I forget, I got at an art exhibit. Yeah, this is a Christian Dior piece. No, Christian LaCroix. I know I'm not saying that right. Christian LaCroix workbook. Just love it. So these are going to be like my fashion goals and just some of my beauty goals, things like that. In this pretty book, but I'm going to write everything down in this book. I've got a big one here, again, on Amazon. And this I got at Staples, and this is a Martha Stewart line, which I really like. It's a gold, just a gold, I don't know, it's just pretty. Martha Stewart has some really good, really great stuff at, I believe it's Staples, really good notebooks and things like that. But whatever works for you, I don't care if it's a steno pad, I don't care if it's just a white sheet of paper, write them down. Get index cards, actually, okay? Okay, so here's question number 1. Where do you want to go in 2025? Where do you want to go? How do you want 2025 to be different from 2024? Where, if you're sitting here now, 1 year from now, just take some time. Remember my last episode with the tea? Just get your teapot, and just daydream. Where do you want to be this time next year? What do you want to be different, right? What do you want to have learned? What do you want to have started? How do you want to look? Do you want to get in better shape? Do you want to cut your hair? Do you want to have a facelift? I don't know, whatever it is, okay? So start thinking about that. Where do you want to live? What kind of environment do you want to live in? Does your environment need to be re-examined? Does who you're with need to be re-examined? I don't know, but these are just things to think about, okay? What do you want to change? Because this might help you get there too. If you don't know your goals and where you want to be, think about, well, what do I want to change about my life right now? Okay? And give yourself permission to just dream big. That's something I'm really good at, but just give yourself permission to dream big. What do you want to change about your life? In a good way? Or if there's something bad, do you want to add, do you want to continue doing something that you did this year? And continue it and take it to a new level. That's really great too, okay? Here's another part of the goal setting. How do you want to be? How do you want to be? Do you find yourself, are you a little bit down? Do you want to get help with that? Do you find yourself maybe a little bit too serious and you want to loosen up a little bit? Do you find yourself maybe being a little bit too conservative and you want to, again, loosen up a little bit? Do you want to have more laughter in your life? These are all things. So how do you want to be? Do you want to hold yourself differently? Do you want to start dressing differently? Give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission. You've got permission. This is living the mod life. You want to design your life and your lifestyle the way you want to be. Again, there are no rules anymore. There are no rules. We don't have to acclimate, I guess, to the societal norms necessarily. I want you to create, that's my mission here. I'm all about possibility thinking. What's possible for you? What do you may not think is possible for you? Write it down, okay? Because we're gonna stretch. I wanna stretch you a little bit. So how do you wanna be? Here's a big one. Who do you want to be with? Who do you want to spend more time with? I do know people, we're at the end of the year, I do know some people that are contemplating a divorce. This is the time of year, a lot of times that this happens, right after the holidays. Some of you might be in a significant relationship and you want to get married, you want to take it to the next level. Okay, so that's something you need to think about. Some of you might be single, like myself, and you want to find a partner in 2025. That's what I want. What do you want? Some people, I don't know, you just want more of the same. You want to make your current relationship even better than it was this year, okay? So who do you want to be with? Who do you want to surround? And then who do you want to surround yourself with, okay? You know, are the people that you're hanging out with and socializing with giving you really good energy? Are they helping uplift you? Are they supporting your dreams and your efforts? Are they there for you when you need them? Do you need to meet new friends? Do you need to meet new groups of people? Do you want to be in more community groups, social groups, whether it's, I don't know, a church setting, or maybe it's a meetup group, or a hiking club, or a painting club, or you want to be around people who like fashion, or you want to be around people who like to study astronomy, okay? Whatever it is, it's out there. And if it's not, challenge me, because I will help you find it, okay? This is living the mod life. And do you see how my sense is that most people don't think about all these things. They do think about goals, like, and we're going to get into it. Well, let's start with here, financial goals. A lot of people do think about financial goals, like, oh, I need to pay off my credit cards, or I need to get more money in my 401k, or I need to meet with a financial planner, or I need to have a will. I mean, that's something I need to do in 2025. I don't have that. So do you have a will? Do you have all your papers in order if something were to happen to you? Do you have access, if you're married, to all of your accounts, all your passwords, things like that, if something were to happen to your spouse? You want to get these things down, okay? Because, and these are goals, you know, financial goals. How much money are you going to need if you are going to live? I'm just going to say, put the number 100 out, because healthcare is going to change quite a bit, and we are going to be living better, longer. And so you want to, you know, look at your finances. Okay, and we're all going to be looking at our finances, and we're living a lot longer and living better longer. Okay, so financially, where do you want to be? What do you need to change? How can you protect your money? Do you need a financial wellness checkup? These are all, again, part of living the mod life. Some of these things are more glamorous than others, but you know, it's just like, we need to do it. Okay, next, fitness goals. Ladies, we've all heard it, we all know it. No matter what your age now, we have to be moving every single day. We just have to be, and we have to be doing weights. We need, and again, I'm not a medical doctor, but I just know that everything that I'm reading, we have to have muscle, because the muscle protects our bones, and falls are, you know, way up there for debilitating people. I don't know what the stat is, but it's a pretty startling stat. I don't have it handy, but women who fall, you know, and you know, I'm even talking 50s. If you break your hip, there's a big chance you might not come out of it. I mean, a big chance. And I don't have the percentage, but look it up. It's a really scary statistic. So lifting weights, building muscle, because you want to build that muscle to protect your muscles. To protect your bones. And I read something recently. It said one of the traits that will test if you're going to be living longer is the strength of your thighs and your legs, because our legs, one, it keeps us balanced, and it protects us from falling. And so leg strength and building that muscle, you know, around your thighs is really, really important, strengthening it. And again, just start out by walking. Start out by walking. You will notice really, really quickly that all of a sudden you'll touch your legs and go, oh, my legs are feeling a lot more tone, you know? And that's what I love about boxing, because boxing is all about leg strength. Because you're on your legs, you don't think about it, but you're pivoting and turning, and you're, you know, ducking, and so my legs are like, you know, hard as a rock, and it's, you know, I just really love it. But you don't have to do boxing; you can do dancing, again, walking, but try to take the stairs as much as you can. One trick I'm going to start doing in 2025. Again, I'm in this big high rise, and I'm on the 18th floor, so I'm going to start getting off on the, and I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to start getting off on the 14th floor and go up 4 flights of stairs each time. So I'm going to start doing that, and you know, challenge myself. Maybe some days I'll get off on the 13th floor or the 12th floor, and other days I might do, you know, the 16th floor, whatever it is. I'm going to start taking the stairs more often just to get that extra workout in. Okay. So fitness goals. What are your fitness goals? And, because we all need it. It's going to give us more energy and it's going to help you live better longer. Okay. Now here's a different one. It sounds the same, but it's not. Wellness goals. What are your wellness goals? Gosh, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just living the mod life. What are some of my wellness goals? Okay, so one is mental wellness. Do you need to see a therapist? Do you want to work on calming yourself down? Another thing that I did last year, actually a little bit before last year, end of 2023, I started doing meditation. I cannot tell you what that has done for my mental wellness. So for me, mental wellness was achieved by meditation. But what do you want to do? How do you want to feel better, with your brain? I'm going to say brain health, is just very, very important. But mental wellness. What else? Doctor's appointments. Do you have them all scheduled? What have you done? Have you had, I haven't had an eye exam in years. I need to get to the eye doctor. And so that's going on the list. Okay, Jennifer, have you made your eye exam appointment? I'm going to check it off. Everything. Functional medicine doctor. That's something else I started doing in 2024. And I'm going to introduce you to my doctor. I talked to her last week. We're going to do an episode at her office or have her on the podcast, which our podcast is launching, which I'll fill you in. But a functional medicine doctor, what is a functional medicine doctor? They get down into the cellular level. They look at your hormones, basically, but they look at much more than that. And so they look at your overall wellness from the inside and how things are functioning. How's your liver functioning? How are your hormones functioning? How's your thyroid functioning? They kind of get into that granular detail that a regular internal medicine doctor, at least in my experience, has not. And she's I see a woman, functional doctor, and she's really great at working with people at midlife and beyond and helping them with their hormones because I got on testosterone this past year, and I have to tell you, it just did wonders. I mean, I can think better, have more, just energy, vitality, all that great stuff. So think about that. Wellness. Spiritual wellness, okay? So there's mental wellness, internal wellness. So in terms of functional medicine doctor, internal medicine doctor, spiritual wellness is another thing. That is another, I can check that off. In 2024, I did a really interesting program, and I'm going to do a whole episode on this, but it was called Inner Engineering with Sadhguru, and it's Sadghuru. And it's all about, I can't really go into it in this episode, but it's just all about, again, your mindset, and it was meditation, yoga, mindset, outlook, how you're looking at the world, how you're being in the world, but it's more of tapping in. And I love it. I still do the program, and they actually have a group that meets once a month here in the DC area, and I go and we do yoga and meditation together on Saturday mornings. Second Saturday of the month. So that was a big change for me in 2024, and it has really, really helped me, but that's part of my wellness routine. What else? Colonoscopy, mammograms, just everything. Make sure you've got it down. Oh, skin. That's really important. As we're getting older, midlife and beyond, we want to check for skin cancer. More and more young people are getting skin cancer, and if it's one of those things that can be cured if they catch it early. So get your skin cancer check on the list. Okay, so, the other thing, wellness, teeth. I'm now going to the dentist every 3 months for a tooth cleaning. I used to be petrified of the dentist, and it wasn't good. Now I go every 3 months, and it's just, we're staying ahead of everything. So they go in, and believe it or not, even after 3 months, there's plaque on there, and so they get it off. And we're finding that women at midlife, your microbiome starts changing. And so you do get a lot more bacteria in your mouth. And so it needs to be cleaned more regularly. And this is going to help prevent teeth from falling out, severe gum recession, things like that. So I'm staying ahead of it. I'm going every 3 months. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. And yes, if they have to do something like serious, yes, I need a chill pill. But, for cleaning, I actually look forward to it now. But it's all comes down to the hygienist. I've got a great hygienist. So do that. Put that down on your routine. Here's another goal. Social goals. What are your social goals? Okay. Do you want to start going to parties more often? Do you want to start going to community events more often? Do you want to start getting together with your girlfriends more often? Do you want to start getting together with other couples more often? Do you want to, again, if you're into hiking, do you want to join a hiking group and get together with them? Whatever it is, do you want to join a cooking club and get together with people and cook? Do you want to start a book club? I'm reading this book, and I've been wanting to start a Mod.life book club, and we're going to do it. And I'm reading this Garten book, Be Ready When the Luck Happens. And it would be so much fun if I was doing this with a group, so we could talk about it. So think about your social goals and things you want to be doing there. Maybe you want to do a sport, okay? And that's your social outlet. That's another thing I like about, for me, getting up and going boxing in the morning at 6 a.m. I'm in a room, I'm with other people, I'm talking to the coach. I work from home, so it's really good for me to get out and be with people face to face. I just think that's important. Okay, just a couple more here, and hope you guys are hanging in. I'm just going to take a little sip here. Okay, oh, by the way, I put this down because I wanted to share with you this water. They're not a sponsor. I would like for them to be. And I hope I'm saying it right. Gerald Steiner? Someone help me with that. It's a sparkling mineral water. It is so good. It's glass. Again, I talked about in the tea video the importance of filtered water. When you're drinking water, ideally you want to drink it out of a glass container. This water is really good. And we all need to try to drink more water, at least 6 to 8 glasses a day. Okay, let me go down. We did social goals, life goals. What do you want to start working on now that when you're 90 or 95, or let's just even say 100 or 80, whatever the number is, and you look back and you say, I wish I would have, or I'm glad I tried. I like that one too. So for me, this was one of them. I'm glad I tried the YouTube channel, okay? And I want to do a newscast, and I'm going to make one of these episodes I'm going to share some news with you. So that's a goal of mine because I always wanted to be a journalist, and I want to do some sort of newscast. So either we'll make it a part of this YouTube channel or a separate, but that's something I always said I wanted to do. And I want to, when I'm 80 or 90 or 100, to look back and say, I'm really glad that I did this, right? Maybe it's a memoir that you want to write. And you would say, when I'm 90 or 100, I want to look back and say, I am so glad I wrote that book. Or maybe, there's a show that you've always wanted to see. Or maybe you always wanted to take a voice lesson. Or maybe you always wanted to take your granddaughter somewhere. Or maybe you always wanted to do a one-on-one trip with your children or adult children. Think about that. Just think about what is it that you know that you want to do before it's all over. And this is not meant to sound gloom. It's just meant to say it's kind of fun to think about, right? I think because we can do it. And so, although I accomplished some of mine this year, I've definitely got my dreams and goals. Like I said, I'd love to have an apartment even a couple months out of the year over in Paris, if not longer. I want to travel more. I know I want to do a photography workshop with some professional photographers. And I have a lot of goals there. I want to do a photography show one day. So I'm going to do something with fashion. And so think about for yourself, what are some things that I want to do before this is all over? What do I want to experience? What do I want to see? What do I want to try? What do I want to feel? This is how you can get into that. And if you guys think that you would like to do like a day-long workshop with me on this, because I know I'm going through it really, really fast, just let me know, because I would love nothing more than to do that. But because I do love setting goals. I'm a really good dreamer. I'm a good idea person. But this past year, having accomplished as much as I did in terms of my own personal goals, I'm really excited about taking things to the next level in 2025. and I love helping others. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please put it in the notes. Okay, or in the comments. Okay, 2 more. Relationship goals. What are your relationship goals? Okay, if you're married, do you want your relationship to get better? What do you want to do more of? What do you want to continue? What do you want to do less of? How do you want to be in your relationship? What types of things do you want to experience together? So those are kind of neat. Friends. What do you want to start doing more with your friends, less with your friends, new things with your friends? Do you want to meet new friends? What kind of relationships do you want to build there? Relationships with your doctors. Do you have good ones? Do you want to get closer to your doctors so that you really are feeling like we're a team together and we're working on my health together, your health together as a team? Do you need to re-examine those relationships? So these are just things to start thinking about. Neighbors. Do you want to have better relationships with your neighbors? I just talked to my neighbor here in my building. I said, let's get together, So we're going to get together after the new year. And I'm going to start inviting people on my floor, here. We're going to just do more. And I talked to the office here in my building. I said, I want to start doing some women's gatherings here in the building because my building is very international. I mean, people from all over the world. And I thought, how cool would it be for us to sit down and just have conversations and get to know each other, where they're from, how they got here, why they're here, So anyway, that's one of my goals for next year. What are your relationship goals? So see, we don't take the time to do this, and you don't have to be a professional to do it. Again, a lot of this is life stuff. But even if you are like myself, we have to think about, I feel like the lines are blurred now. Business life, it's just life in general. And last, and these are really in no particular order, but last that I wrote down here, and we can certainly add more, learning goals. Just like last year when I went to fashion program at Cornell, and I did the inner engineering program with Sadhguru, those were learning goals. Those were things that I wanted to explore. And so now I'm thinking about what are my learning goals for 2025? Well, I know I want to do more with fashion. I want to continue my learning with Sadhguru and inner engineering and meditation with some other people. And I don't know if you see it, but you see that black thing behind me? That piano? I want to learn the piano. That's my daughter's piano, and I was not going to get rid of it. And I love the way it looks, but I want to learn how to play it. So I'm making it public here on YouTube. I am going to start, because I have been saying it for a while, I am going to start taking piano lessons, and I want to learn to play the piano. And so I'm excited about that. I'm also learning, I think I mentioned French in 2025. So these are all the things I'm doing, and I want to encourage you, to pick one, pick many, whatever feels good to you. But the most important thing is don't forget about yourself. Set your goals, be true to yourself. Think about, reverse engineer it. Think about when you're 80 or 90 or 100 and you're looking back and you're sitting there in the chair and it's quiet and no one's around, and you're sitting there and you're reflecting back on your life, and you're going to go, I'm really glad that I blank, that I did this, that I experienced that I learned this, that I met so-and-so, that I made that, whatever it is. Think about that, because that's what's living the mod life. You're going to look back at your life and you're going to smile. And so that's my hope with this channel. Just again, encourage you to live life with possibility. So, a couple things. Again, I hope this was helpful. And this was just a start, but these were just the main ones that I wanted to get into. There's so many more, we could really drill it down. If you're interested in any type of workshop, I would love to do it. Please let me know. We could do it on a Zoom, and I could help you all. My ultimate goal would be for us to all get together in person and go through this goal program, to help build your best mod life. Okay? And so I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of times on socials, I hope you're following us on social or following me on social media or live the mod life on social. But one of the things that I do quite often is I'll do mod mantras. And it's just something to set the tone, for the day. And so I want you to say to yourself, and as we go into 2025, I want you to take a few moments before the clock strikes 12 on 2025, and I want you to write your goals down. And I want you to look at that list and look at it again and just kind of look outside, look at the sky. I mean, I don't want to get woohoo here, but look at the sky, breathe in, close your eyes, breathe in, and just see it for yourself. And your mantra is, I can do it, I can be it, I can experience it, and I can have it. And that's your Mod mantra, New Year's Eve, going into 2025. This is Jennifer. I hope you are living your best Mod life, and stay right here on this channel because the best is yet to come, and we're going to help you live the best Mod life that you can have. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time.